Thank you for joining Waking Up with T. Today, this is a totally new video. It's maybe a video that I'll try again. We're going to see how this goes. Please stay tuned. I guess it's seeing me in a different light. It's me sharing more about parts of my life that I normally don't share. So you got to stay tuned to see what's interesting. Stay tuned to hear what I think is a funny story, and let me know if you've had any similar instances of your own. Feel free to comment me or message me. My contact info is always down below in the description box. And in other videos, not necessarily this one, I always have good stuff in the description box. Like last video, I included links to the different restaurants and places we went. So make sure you always check that description box. Okay, now let's get into this. So I don't really talk about dating. If I talk about dating, it's in the little shorts that I do here on YouTube. But I never dated ever until I was 38. 37-ish. Anyways, so because I had met my ex-husband when I was in 5th grade. We got married when we had been together for like 8.5 years. We started dating when we were 18. So I didn't have to date, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those situations when you get like coupled up in a relationship when you're young, and then you get very serious when you're young, you marry, and so I didn't have experience like in a dating world, you know? And that was something where at the end of my marriage, I was very concerned about, because I'm like, wow, like I'm out in my late 30s. This is all a new experience. It's a very different world from when I was younger, and it was intimidating. It just was. So I say all that to say, I have bravely put myself out there, and I do not think it's easy at all. In fact, I don't think it's for everyone to go on these dating apps. Let me say that again. If you're watching and you're really young, if you're like 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, I don't know about these dating apps. Like, I feel like you have to be a more seasoned person to understand the games that people like to play on these apps. And I think you need to understand yourself more so that you know your boundaries more clearly. That's my perspective and opinion. You just have all kinds of people on these apps. Like, you need to come prepared. If you think you can go on these apps and you're gonna find the person of your dreams right off, good luck. Like, let me give you an example. For every like one person that's interesting out there, there's like 50 other people who've tried to shoot their shot, or I've tried to shoot my shot and it didn't work for whatever reason. Maybe because you end up realizing they're a scammer. You end up realizing they're not really looking for what you're looking for. They end up insulting you for no reason, right? They just unmatch with you just for whatever reason, and all kinds of variables. People ghost you. It's a very interesting place. So I just want to get this say this right off. If you're really young, like 18 to 25, this is just my perspective. I think you should go out in the world and like be amongst people your age, live your life, and like learn about yourself, learn about your boundaries. And I don't think necessarily dating apps are the safest for people of certain ages. I just don't. Like, if you're looking for just a physical thing, like, go right for it. However, I think you're gonna, I just think you're setting yourself up for a lot of like disappointment, heartache, and potentially dangerous situations. That's just me though. And I'm 39 years old. So like, take it or leave it, right? And I'm not saying dating apps are not worthwhile. I do think that they can be very worthwhile, like, especially, the demic situation we were just going through. Where are you supposed to meet people? You weren't supposed to leave your house. So where for those people, like those of us who can work from home, where would I have met someone? Where would I meet anyone to date? But I do think dating apps have a very specific purpose, especially if you're like someone like me who I live in an area where I don't think that my values overall align with people's values overall in the area that I live in. So I guess dating apps expose me to more people than would live just here. And it's not like I want some long distance thing, but like, excuse me, I'm very skeptical, and the chances of me thinking I can meet someone right in my own little neck of the woods, I just don't think is going to happen, because people's values and thoughts and ideas are very different than my own, and I'm going to be realistic with myself. So anyways, I say all that to say, I've been chatting it up with one dude for like months and months and months. And at first I was not feeling this dude. I was like, there's no depth. Like he just wasn't talking about anything. And then I'm like, finally we had a breakthrough in our chatting, like our little texting, right? And then I don't know, we started getting to know each other a little better. And then I thought, okay, fine. Like we had scheduled a date one time, and I think I had backed out. It was for a very valid reason. I'm not going to get into that, but it was for a valid reason. But anyways, I had backed out, and then we hadn't chatted for a while. And then I finally like reached out to him and messaged him to see like how he was doing or whatever. And one thing that was endearing to me about him is he was divorced and he was a dad. And like, why am I a sucker for this? It's just because I want to feel like, even though I don't have children, I want to feel like I can relate to someone and someone can relate to me, because going through divorce, I feel like, is a very specific thing, and it's heartbreaking, and there's a lot of weight to it. And I want to feel understood. Why am I gonna cry? Ugh. This video might be all over the place. I'm on my period anyway. But like most people, you just want to feel understood, you know? Oh, I'm not crying in this video about some random dude that's not even worth it. He really is not worth it. Please trust me. This is all me I'm crying about, not for some dude. But in life, you just want to feel understood, especially by the person that maybe is the person you want to like join forces with, join lives with, you know? I'm not saying this dude was it. However, like, I go into these situations hoping that this could be it, because I'm not just dating. Like, yeah, I am dating to have fun and to like experience a part of life that I've never experienced, but it's also very much for a purpose, you know? And so yeah, then we decided, okay, we're gonna like go on a date. But this dude was so non-committal. It's like, he like, oh, like, you pick the place and you do everything, and it's like, ooh, please take charge. Please take charge in something in this life regarding me, because like, I'm so sick of like having to be strong, and I'm so sick of like me having to make the choices. I know that maybe he was just trying to like please me and like do something I wanted, but like, I need someone decisive as well. I can't tell you every little thing to do in this life, and it includes like what restaurant to pick, because that's what he was not committing to. It's like, if you don't say something, then I'm gonna say something, and we're gonna be done with it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not agonizing over a restaurant, a time, and a date that we're gonna be like, I'm sorry, that shit is crazy. My life is busy. I don't have times to be going back and forth. And I told him at one point, I was like, we just need to get on the phone and talk about this, because like, planning something with a person that just wants to text and not figure it out is very frustrating for me. That's a pet peeve, by the way. But anyways, so we decided on a place. We're gonna go to one of those chain restaurants, meet in the bar, maybe have food, but like have a drink. I was like, cool, but I was very nervous, because this was like my first official date ever. And this was like recently, you guys. What month was this? Was this January? Yeah, it was January. Yeah, so I just had my first date in January 2022. What? Anyways, wow. But so the date was just kind of like lukewarm. It was just like, okay, like you look cute. Like you're cuter than your pictures even, but I don't know, like what substance? I mean, he's a Gemini. Geminis are dangerous for me because of my past. And it's like, no, dude. Geminis, it's like you love to hate them, you hate to love them. They drive me crazy. So he liked a football team that I hate, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I was like, what? So I was just like taking digs at him because I'm like, who likes Ben Roethlisberger, right? When he said the Steelers, I was like, oh shit, here we go. I already didn't like them because they're bad calls, like what, over 15 years ago with the Seahawks. And then Ben Roethlisberger, and I was like, yeah, do you remember Ben Roethlisberger? And he's like, yeah, he still plays for them. And I was like, see, my point fucking exactly. I took some digs at this dude because I'm like, who the hell likes the Steelers? Like, you live in the Pacific Northwest and you like the Steelers? I'm sorry, you're whack, whatever. So, I mean, I didn't say that. I was just thinking it. But, so the date ended, and I was like, he stood up. He's, first of all, a fucking liar because he said in his, like, profile that he was taller than what he was. And look, I'm trying to open my heart, open my mind to people. So I traditionally do not like short dudes. I don't like them. But in recent times, I'm like, let's give love a chance. What if love out there is available for me with a short dude? Guess what? It's not. It's not. So this dude stands up. You guys, I'm not even 5'1" if you get technical. I'm like short, right? This dude stands up, and I swear to God, if he's 5'3", he's probably just 5'3", you guys. I'm like, wow, that's a lie, man. You said you were at least 5'6". You're doing some real creative writing right there. So first of all, I was pissed at that. Like, why are you gonna lie about your height when that's verifiable, you know? Anyways, but me, I'm like forgiving, and I'm like, oh, let's give him a chance. And then I'm like, well, it wasn't a complete bust. It wasn't a complete waste of a date. So let's see how this dude kisses. Okay, one of my main love languages is physical touch. So I'm like, well, I need to know how this dude kisses. So let's hang out with him again. So I invite him to my place, and before I had asked him like what his favorite beverage was because I was gonna have it for him, but he's like, no, never mind, it's okay because I could just bring my own. He liked like a kind of beer that he liked PVR, and I'm like, nah, dude. Even if he would have, I'm glad he said I'll just bring my own because I'm like, nah, dude, I'm not buying PVR. Like that shit's not sitting in my refrigerator. But anyways, but you could obviously tell like I wasn't really feeling him that much because like softened heart D would like be okay, I'll buy his little PBR. No. But okay, he came over. Before he arrived, it was a mess. I was cleaning and cleaning and cleaning. I had the night before forgotten that I placed one of those frozen juices that are in a canister, and you make the juice in the pitcher. I had forgot. Oh, dang. Oh, I got a text from someone I like. Anyways, okay. Oh, how sweet. See, I hope in the future I can make videos about someone I really like, and that they're not just these busted dude videos. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm digressing. So I forgot the night before I had put one of those canisters of frozen juice in my garbage because I told you guys in December I had the little power outage. I didn't realize my freezer and fridge had no electricity for like 24 to 48 hours. And when I opened that canister to make the juice, you could tell it wasn't good. Like it was freezer burn or it would just have gone bad, right? So I put it in the garbage and I forgot about it. So when I was going to take out my trash, that canister tipped over and all kinds of frozen juice not frozen-ish juice goes and splatters all over my floor. Like that shit. At that moment, I did not need that because I was already like hustling to clean, and you guys know how juice is. It's sticky. My mind was a mess. Like I was just like, I wanted to make a good impression. It just didn't happen. So by the time he gets here, it was a shit show. Like honestly, it was a shit show. I should have called him and been like, can we reschedule? Because this is just not gonna work. But I just thought, yeah, right. The way the things are going with this dude, I'll see him in 2023, you know? It's like, I'm not gonna wait. Like, let's just get this through. Like, let's just see how this goes. Can the dude kiss or what, you know? So then he comes over, and like I had very nervous energy, which is not a good way to start hanging out with anyone. It's not a good tone to set. He's like, you could have just told me. We could have rescheduled. And I was like, yeah, it's okay. And so we're chatting a little bit, and it's very awkward. And he's just like sitting there, and I'm like, ugh. He's not conversating. I'm like, oh my God, I have to carry this whole motherfucking conversation. Okay. I can do it, right? I can do it. So I'm just talking about anything, and I'm a nervous wreck, so I'm jumping topics a lot. And at one point he tells me, you keep changing the subject a lot. Like he did not like it. And I was like, oh, okay. So now you're going to come into the conversation and tell me what I'm doing wrong. Well, I wouldn't have to fucking entertain your ass if you would be part of the conversation. But okay. Then I'm like, you know what? Let's change this up, because I was getting annoyed at him. Then I remembered I had 2 little shots of Fireball available. I was like, hey, do you want to take a shot of Fireball with me? And he said, no, I don't really like liquor. You know, I like beer. And I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, can you just cheers with me just so I don't look pathetic taking the shot alone? So he humored me. Thank you for humoring me. That was great, right? Anyways, I take the shot. I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm feeling good. He's clearly not. He's just sitting there, right? And I'm like, okay. Oh, I'm like thinking, what the fuck do I do? What do I do? So after I took the shot, and he's just sitting there, and he just, I'm just like thinking, damn, is this date that painful for the guy? I then think, you know what? I have the second shot. I'm like, I'm going to take the second shot. And then that really got me going. So I just start talking, making jokes, laughing. And then I remembered his birthday is in summer. And he had mentioned how his daughter's birthday is in summer too. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I said, my niece's birthday is in summer, and she has really cool birthdays because like she can have pool parties, you know, and those are really fun. And then I get into my story with him and I tell him, yeah, as kids, my birthday's in February, early February. So as kids, that's a rough time to have a birthday because it's right after Christmas, but before your mom gets her tax return. So times are a little tough. And I bust up laughing because to me that shit's funny. And he's just sitting there. And I was like, it was so awkward. And then maybe I'm like, was that too much? Maybe that was too much. And he's like, yeah, I think that was too much. Or he said something like that. And I'm like thinking, well, bitch, if I didn't have to entertain you, this would be a lot easier, you know? So it just did not go well, you guys. If you can't have a conversation with someone, it's just not going to work. So it doesn't really matter how they kiss, you know? What is the... There's no moral of the story. The moral of the story is this. If you're on a date that's going nowhere, make yourself laugh, because guess what? If it's turning out to be a wreck of a date, you might as well make yourself laugh, you know? I am all for that. Excuse me. And then this dude made some empty promise that did not happen, and whatever. Like, I'm sick of liars. Like, don't lie to me. Don't make these promises. I'm sick of these empty words. You know what I mean? Like, if you say you're going to do something, just do it. Like, I don't really want to keep hearing about it, you know? So, yeah, that's my story. I think it's funny. Maybe you think it's funny, but to all my Aquarians who can relate, whose mom always gave her and her twin a good birthday, but times were tough though. It was right after Christmas or right before your mom got her tax return. That shit is funny. So if you're ever on a date and there's something you're sharing with someone, then honestly is showing vulnerability. And like they don't get it and they're just, you're already not feeling them. It's time to just cut that. Cut that, say goodbye, go your separate ways, you know? Like, I wish that dude well, but we are not for one another. No. But I hope you can find some humor in experiences or dates you've been on. If you have a funny story, let me know. I would love to laugh with you. And if you watch this whole video, OMG, shoot, you are a real one, because I got way too wordy in this video. Make sure you comment down below, the laughing emoji, #laughter. And don't forget to hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit that notification bell so every time I upload, you are notified. And last but not least, there's only one you. So don't forget to take care of you. Bye, you guys.